I have a question for you before we study this King's Gambit opening. Is this opening an abandoned chess opening? What do you think? Of course, if we will compare the number of who are using this opening, compare decades ago or a century, if not centuries ago, it's like very significant. Probably because of the risk, the sharpness, and the complication of the opening is very difficult to handle, especially today, Indian time. It's like you have to study very well each line in order for you to survive when you use the complicated and sharp opening. So let's go and study this one, and you may also answer the question. So e4, e5, f4. So King's Gambit is allowing black to capture the f4 for the sake of f file. Of course, if you are white and successfully finding a way to put your rook here, that would be good. But the line that we will pick after of e takes f4 is bishop c4. So we will not go with knight f3, and white will allow the queen h4 check by moving bishop c4. So in this case, the rook f1 is not possible, and this one is a very complicated and sharp game. You have to study well if you want to use this one in your online game or tournament. Queen h4 check, king f1. Once again, if you don't want any queen h4 check, just pick knight f3, preventing the check. And if you want to go with more sharp line, bishop c4. d6, black can go with knight f6 or d5, but just d6. Knight f3, attacking the queen. Queen h5, pinning down the knight. This knight cannot go yet because of the queen takes queen and completely winning for black. d4, gaining space, controlling the center. At the same time, this bishop is ready to capture the pawn on f4. g5, this time black will not allow any free pawn. Knight c3, knight e7. Why not knight f6? Like, this knight is controlling the g4 and the e4, because if knight e6, e5 is coming. So instead of you allowing white to go with e5, just knight e7. At the same time, this bishop can develop on g7 or h6. So let's go with h4 and h6. Why not g4? It's like, it's sensible to attack the knight. However, knight g5 will give black some problem, targeting the f7 pawn. So if you're playing black here, you don't want that to happen. Just go h6 first. At the same time, this h4 to h5 is not possible because queen takes rook. That's a free rook. King g1, you have to protect first the rook before you capture the pawn. And the perfect timing to push the pawn is now. g4, attacking the knight. Knight e1. And here, since we are talking about the risk opening, the risk position, the sharpness, and the, of course, aggressiveness and complication of its opening, let's go with f3. Offering back the pawn, but in exchange of that is the g file. So let's go with g takes f3, g takes f3, queen takes, bishop g4, attacking the queen. Of course, the queen takes f7. It's not possible because it's still protected. Queen f2 and rook g8. This is the 13th move of this opening. So you may study this one if you want to use for white and for black. Go for it.